What you know about rolling down in the deep? Riding in the deep. Down in the deep.
Now I know y'all be loving this shit
What
right
you know
here.
about rolling?
What you gonna do?
Rolling.
What you gonna do now?
Down in the rolling.
What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit.
This is Ramon, Jets Guru, aka @GuruJets on Twitter. Hey, you are now watching Jets Guru Live. Go Jets, JETS, Jets.
No one man should have all that power.
Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god. I just told you. That's who I think I am.
How could you be so honest? Oh, how could you be so honest? I'm told the cold story every time. To a woman so honest. How could you be so honest? How could you be so honest? No one man should have all that. I'm a sick, I like a quick woo. I'm a sick, I like a quick woo. I'm a sick, I like a quick woo. I'm a sick, like I had a dream I could find my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on a necklace. I told God I'll be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless. Whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested, guess until he get the message. I feel the pressure under more scrutiny. And what I do, act more stupidly. I need you right now.
What's going on, Jets Nation? CJ the Painkiller D. Simone here, and you are watching Jets Guru. Now, give it up for your host, Mr. Daniel Smith!
It's 1,000 views, it's only one of me. It's 1,000 views, it's only one of me. Get down, girl, gon' head, get down. Get down, girl, gon' head.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that, folks? Silence. Adam Gase is gone. Sam Darnold, he's gone. And now a new time has started for the New York Jets, and I'm super excited. I'm excited because the Jets draft is around the corner, and we got a super cool episode coming next week. You know what I mean? We're going to do our Jets Guru draft special. We're all going to have our draft boards ready. We're going to have the Jets draft board ready, and we're going to go over each pick, and each of us is going to say who the Jets are going to pick. And whoever comes closest to picking the Jets draft correctly, number of picks, we're going to do a prize of some sort. You know, we'll figure it out what it is. But a new quarterback is on the way, guys. It's so exciting, but it's nerve-wracking at the same time. Because we've been here before. And I know what a lot of the pessimistic Jet fans are going to say. They're going to say, we've been here before, we know this tune. But that's what every franchise has said before they actually got the guy that was going to take them to where they needed to be. You know, you look at the New England Patriots before Tom Brady got there. You had Drew Bledsoe, who played all right for a little bit. But before that, I mean, they didn't really have anything, right? So, you know, you look at the Green Bay Packers, you look at the 49ers when they just go quarterback to quarterback. Like, that's tough to do, man. It really is. I mean, you even look at the Dallas Cowboys. They've had success at the quarterback position from a few guys, but it's been hard to get back since Aikman. You know, it really is. It's tough. And everybody's always searching for that franchise guy. And a lot of times they don't come at the top. But a lot of times they don't come at the bottom, which tells you what? It's a 50-50 proposition. What matters most is the scheme that you get your quarterback into, the support you put around him, and then making sure that you pick the right actual guy, a guy that can handle the rigors and the stress and all of the things that are required both physically and mentally in this game to be able to succeed at the top level as the best do it. You know, we talked about this before. Tom Brady's in his 40s. He's an old man as far as football standards are concerned. He's out there with some of the best athletes in the world coming at him each and every play. Okay. Somehow there's something about how he plays football. When you watch him play every Sunday, you don't need to be the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, but you need to be accurate with your throws. You need to be a leader on and off the field. You need to have that fire. To me, honestly, you can't even be great if you don't have that Mamba mentality. That's just my opinion. Like, very few people to me in performance athletics that I have met are like the Buddhist monk sitting there. There has to be a little bit of that attitude in there. Like, I'm not going to let this guy beat me. I'm the best. And you usually see that in the best quarterbacks, that fire, that drive. And I'm hoping that when the Jets select Zach Wilson, that we're going to get that, and we're going to get the talent along with it. And honestly, the more I watch Zach Wilson, the more I watch his game tape, and the more that I keep looking at how the 49ers ran their offense and how Shanahan does it, I kind of get excited about what Zach Wilson can do, because I think the offense really matches the player. And everyone says, why would you draft Zach Wilson? He's just like Sam Darnold. He's not like Sam Darnold. These are two different guys. If you are saying that, you're not really looking at it. Even if Sam Darnold winds up becoming a better quarterback than Zach Wilson and over the lifetime of their career, they are two different quarterbacks. The way they play football is different. The way they throw the football is different. I mean, they're white. So if you want to say they're both white quarterbacks. So are we going to start doing this with white quarterbacks now, where, like, if you're a white quarterback and you have athletic ability, you just look like everybody else that has athletic ability? Are we doing that now with the white quarterback too? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you look at the game tape, they look like different quarterbacks. They're different. They're just different body types. They're just different quarterbacks, man, for good and bad. But I like what Zach Wilson can do on the outside of the numbers. I keep saying it, I like the way he throws the football. I like how he steps in and throws the football. I like his throwing motion. I like the fact that he can create a bunch of different angles throwing the football. I think that's important when you have NFL rushers in your face and you have arms up, when the protection isn't great, where you could still make a play, still do things. Listen, this is going to be a crazy season, because I kind of feel like if Zach Wilson has times where he doesn't play well, the Jet fans are really going to turn it up. So this kid, there's going to be pressure anytime you play in New York, but these are the reasons why, because that's what the fans expect, greatness. I don't think that Zach Wilson is going to get, how they say, like, Sam Darnold didn't have enough talent and didn't have great coaching when he first came here to the Jets. I think Zach Wilson, because of what happened to Sam Darnold, is going to be under more pressure, because people are going to be looking at him like, well, we should have kept Darnold. We should have just built around Darnold. That's what we should have done if Darnold succeeds with Carolina and Zach Wilson ultimately goes through a rough rookie season. Whereas when Sam Darnold came in, everybody was so supportive of Sam Darnold regardless, because it was like the first drafted quarterback since Mark Sanchez, and we were looking for a new start, and everyone was kind of excited about the possibilities of that. Now it seems like people are split on it. They're even split on whether they want Zach Wilson or not. So he's coming into a harder situation that I think from a mental side of the game than Sam Darnold had to deal with the Jets. From a physical standpoint, which helps him or will help him on the mental side of the part, is he does have some weapons. Now, you may look at our team and you may say, yeah, you're not going to the Super Bowl, Dan. I understand that the Jets are most likely not going to the Super Bowl. But look at their roster, and I think that that's a competent roster for any rookie to walk into as far as the offensive side of the football is concerned. And we know they're not done with the offensive line. We know we're going to get a premier guard or a premier center in this draft that's featured. And we're probably going to pick up another veteran who gets cut because of cap reasons or because they have a young guy who they want to put in that position, and the old guy's just not worth the play. So I believe that the offensive line will be good enough for a rookie to come in. And I like the weapons. I like the fact they have Corey Davis. I like the fact that they kept Jamison Crowder for this final year, who's an excellent route runner, and I think is going to help a guy like Zach Wilson. And I also believe that Mims is going to be a 1A, 1B type of guy. And I think Chris Herndon, if he sticks on this roster, I think is going to have a way better season. I think when you look at, if you thought that Sam Darnold was going to have a better season under LaFleur, then I think you can also say that Herndon probably is going to as well, because the athletic ability is there. We saw it in action. It's not like Herndon's never showed up before. We've seen him actually play really good games. It just seemed under Adam Gase, it was just a slow descent down when it came to Herndon. When it seemed like he was on his way, and he was about to be, a tight end that was going to be around for a while. So I'm not going to give up on that talent. I think anybody would be frustrated, and they like to use the tight ends. They're going to get something out of him, and I think if he stays. And as far as I'm concerned, this offense is going to be good enough for Zach Wilson to walk into and have rookie success, get the ball moving, show what he's made out of, and then you're going to start seeing the Jets' weaknesses, whether that be offensive line or defense or just mistakes, because it's a new playbook, it's new receivers. You got to remember, guys, when the Jets walk into camp this year, new quarterback, new receiver, new offensive lineman, new coaches, new scheme, probably a new guard, new center. Who else do we got? New running backs on the defensive side of the ball, new defensive linemen, new cornerbacks, new linebackers. This is really a rebuild. This is basically starting from the ground up, and the Jets have an opportunity. This is a tryout for some of the guys who are left over from the Adam Gase and McCagnon thing here this rebuild year here. And then in year two, you're going to start to see it turn over and take the shape and the form of the players that Saleh wants, starting with this draft right here and the young guys that they're going to go and then they're going to be bringing in. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you at Guru Jets there, Ramon, and thank you, Krista. I want to ask you, Krista, how excited you are for this draft, and ultimately, how important is it for Joe Douglas to hit, not just on Zach Wilson, but on the rest of the picks throughout the draft, especially, I believe, the first 3 or 4 picks?
Very excited about the draft. The fact that the Jets have a lot of draft picks, I know that a lot of draft picks don't mean anything. I know a lot of people in the comments are going to say, well, what about John Isaac's 12 pick? People have to keep in mind that this is a new regime in hand that's working. I like Joe Douglas. I like what he's done in the draft in the past. And I think that the Jets have taken a lot of heat with Sam Darnold, not because of how really much of how Sam Darnold has played, but just how the talent that they didn't supply Sam Darnold. And I think that's going to be taken in hand when the draft, because there's a lot of offensive lineman talent that could be had. And I was listening to bits and pieces of the press conference with Joe Douglas saying, well, maybe we'll trade up if there's a player involved. I don't think that's totally out of the question. If a player that he likes, we don't know who, whatever player that he likes feels that can help Zach Wilson or some rare talent, some talent that begins to fall, because the draft is a very, very weird place. A lot of players tend to fall, and it's usually players that you don't expect to fall for whatever reason. They start to fall in the draft. So if Joe Douglas can take one of those guys that either helps Zach Wilson, maybe it's an offensive lineman, maybe it's a wide receiver, which I don't think it is going to be a wide receiver. I think most likely he'll probably draft a receiver later in the rounds. But if it's an offensive lineman that he likes starts to fall, or even a shutdown cornerback that starts to fall, that fits Saleh's defense, or maybe a linebacker, which is an underrated need that doesn't really get talked quite enough. I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Douglas trades up if he feels that he could do it and it wouldn't hurt him, because he has the draft picks. So I think having a lot of draft picks, it gives him a lot of flexibility. You're not going to see like John isn't going to actually use all 12 draft picks and do that crazy mess. That I definitely don't think that's going to happen. That was just insane. I'm excited about this because it's a total rebuild around Zach Wilson, who are most likely going to take second overall. And it's a way to get him help get him weapons. It's a way to rebuild. We need that offensive line. There's a lot of good offensive line that could be had. 23 is a very interesting spot because, like I mentioned before, you never know who's going to fall. You never know who's going to fall. So I think the pick 23 is going to be very interesting. Whether Joe Douglas whether move down, I think it's going to be a very interesting spot. I'm very excited about the draft. I'm very excited about the outcome. I think that with Joe Douglas, I think a lot of people are going to watch how he's going to do to help Zach Wilson. I think that's what a lot of people are going to key in and watch, because I think a lot of people are taking note with the Jets saying, "Oh, look, the Jets did not help Sam Darnold whatsoever. We need to go back before we know Sam Darnold." So I think Joe Douglas is taking note about that. We know he loves his offensive line. We know he loves his defensive line. When we heard Saleh, his type of guys, what he wants on the team, they all want players that love the game. They want guys that fit the scheme. So I think as a Jeff fan, you have to be excited. There's no more Adam Gaze like you mentioned. We don't have to listen to the Mike McCaggans in the world and all about the process and whatever BS we're spilling out. We have Joe Douglas in charge. I think he's going to do whatever it takes to really, really, really help Zach Wilson. I know a bunch of fans are going to come up and say, well, he promised Sam Darnold that he was going to take care of him. Get offensive line help. I know one of you guys are going to go up there and say that to me. Well, technically, he did not lie to Sam Darnold. He got him offensive line help. We just, unfortunately, it didn't hit on a free agent offensive lineman, but he did get Mekhi Becton. So let my man Joe Douglas work before you guys want to criticize the guy Joe Douglas. I really like Joe Douglas, and I like what he's doing so far.
Man, listen, I couldn't hear anything that you said.
Really?
No, you sounded like
Hey,
Megatron,
hey,
man. I couldn't hear any. Like, that's all I
I
heard.
really?
Listen, I
Oh
was trying to
no!
read your
Wait.
words on the screen. I hope everybody else heard you, because I didn't hear a damn word that you said, but I know it was as good as it always is coming from you.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
it's maybe try to restart and then hop back on. But no, I mean it's one of those things when you look at it with Joe Douglas. I mean, he's got a hit. I mean, there's no doubt about it here. Like, if he doesn't hit on this draft, he's done, and not just done here. He's done overall in his probably career as a GM, especially if Darnold has any success. Which one would be very typical of the Jets, which is what gets many Jet fans scared, is because it would be so typical of the Jets for Sam Darnold to have a great career moving forward and the Jets to pick Zach Wilson and him completely fall apart. But again, we can't think like that, people, because that doesn't really exist. Okay, that is something that is made up in your mind. Now, what is real is bad organizational structure and bad scouting and bad coaching. And if you believe that Woody Johnson was real in what he said and letting Joe Douglas make his own pick for head coach, and if you think Joe Douglas is a football guy, which the league seems to think so, then you think that he found the right choice in Robert Saleh, who's also well respected. And you also have to believe that the staff that he brought in was free for him to be able to go and take and not be directed by the upper management of the New York Jets. So if that's the case, then you already have the building blocks to a successful organization. Now you have Joe Douglas has to do what he did last year, was put together a few good picks within the draft, which we won't know the rest of the draft. But if you can get your left tackle, like I said before, and you can get your starting receiver and a left tackle in one draft, I'm happy with that. If you throw me Ashton Davis and a solid punter, I'll say that's a good draft. Okay. Now moving into this draft, the Jets have to hit on the quarterback. They have to hit on the number 23 pick, and they have to hit on the 34. I mean, when you look at it, you have to get a center, and you have to get it. To me, honestly, if you're asking me right now, I'm taking Zach Wilson, I'm taking a center, and I'm taking a guard. I'm taking both. I'm going back to back. Or if one of those corners, like you said, if Newsome is sitting there or somebody else who happens to drop down that's graded above him, then it changes things. Because here's the thing about this draft that I think is going to be awesome. There's so many quarterbacks that are going to be taken high up that there's going to be like 3 or 4 players who are going to get bumped down because they're going to get passed on, because the team after that, like for instance, let's say, I don't know, I forgot who's picking at 8. Let's say whoever's picking at 8, right? They take a guy, right? A quarterback, let's say at 8, right? Or 9, they take a quarterback, right? Well, there's a player, a corner who's slated to be taken there. Now he gets down to 10. Well, that team wants to take an offensive lineman. Then he gets to 11. Then it's like, oh, well, I need a defensive end. And it keeps going until it gets to a need where they need that player. Well, there could be several players that get jockeyed like that down the bottom of the draft, where when you're sitting at 23, the Jets might have a player
Yeah.
that they're at 23 that could be really good, where like it could be another receiver, and you might say, like I don't know if I could pass on a receiver here that might be this good. What? I'm not saying Jamar Chase would ever fall like that, or Devonta Smith would ever fall that low. I'm not saying that they would fall to 23, but I mean, stranger things have happened. What if a player like that like falls down to that level? Do you change your plans a little bit and then go, okay, well, 34, I'll definitely, 34, I'll go ahead and definitely get a center at that point. So we'll see how the draft unfolds, but there should be some guy left tackle guard conversions, people like the Vera Tucker from USC. But I'd rather go with a guard. I'd rather go with somebody like a Wyatt Davis who's played there, or I would like to go with like someone like a Humphrey who hasn't given up a sack, if I'm not mistaken. So somebody like that, I think would be a better choice than necessarily going with a tackle that needs to be moved to a guard right now. So I don't know. Maybe you get both. Maybe listen, I don't know. I don't know what Joe Douglas is planning to do and who he's planning to keep. But I know the offensive line is going to be important. I know he tried to address it last offseason. He didn't really this offseason. I think that's because he learned his lesson. I think because he went out and he got 5 guys right off rip and said, okay, these are going to be my linemen, and probably realized maybe you shouldn't try to grab every offensive lineman from one free agent class, because your odds of hitting on every single one gets lower and lower than picking out 2 guys that fit your system. It might work a little better than grabbing 5 guys. And so I think, he goes out there, he probably drafts again a guard center. But Ramon, what do you think ultimately the Jets do at 34 and 23? And what the expectations of Joe Douglas and this finally being his team, right? Because he's been protected that it was, Max spent the money. Max spent the picks. Adam Gase did this. Now it's his show. What are the expectations put upon him?
So I'm going to let you – wait. Yeah, all right, I'm good. So you can hear me. All right, I'm going to let you guys know where the place that the Jets are in right now is the place that parents are at when they have 3 kids, right? And the oldest kid is gone. The middle kid goes to college also, right? And guess what? We got the only child in the house who's about to be protected. He's about to get whatever he wants. You know what I mean? If he wants an Xbox One X, he's gonna fucking get it or freaking get it. Sorry about that. I'm excited. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get whatever he wants. Zach Wilson is coming in. Joe Douglas is gonna protect him and make sure he has everything he needs. At 23, like you said, you need a guy like Creed Humphrey, right? A guy that takes pride in his job every single day. A guy that you could put beside, not technically beside, but one space over from a Mekhi Becton, another guy that takes pride in his position on the field. All he cares about is dominating the guy in front of him, making sure that Zach Wilson is not touched, that Zach Wilson's jersey does not look anything like Joe Burrow's jersey, right? We want Zach Wilson to have everything he needs. So at 20, the censor button. So at 34,
I'm working on that.
So at 34, right? I want to bring in Greg Newsome. If J.C. Horn is there, he's not going to be there, guys. He's not going to be there. But if he's there for whatever reason, at 23, you get him, because I know offensive line is a huge issue for us, and obviously Creed Humphrey is the one guy that I would definitely take hands down. I feel like for a guard, like you guys said, we could still get a guy in the later rounds, but like cornerback has been an issue for us since, I don't know. I feel like we've been crumbling at cornerback. Like it was like 2015 season, Cromartie was going downhill, right? And then the next season, Revis went downhill, right? And then we bring in Tremaine Johnson. We overpay him, and he was always downhill. You know what I mean? Like it's just been a position that we haven't been able to fulfill. And I feel like at 23, if J.C. Horn is there, you absolutely get him. At 34, if Greg Newsome is there, you absolutely get him. You need guys that you can put them on an island, and you can be like, you know what? We're good over there. Just like when you got Marcus May on your side of the field, you're like, you know what? I can press up on my guy a little bit, right? I got Big Brother back here. He's going to take care of that. If anything happened, Big Brother's got my back. If you see 20 flying around the field, you're not the pass is not being completed, right? We know that. So I think we go cornerback at 34. Like I said, Jason Wednesday, you pick him at 23, and we go, but we also get Creed Humphrey if we got the opportunity at 23. So that's a toss up for me at 23, but that's what I think, and I think Joe Douglas has done everything right. He has done everything right.
Okay, so hey, didn't we draft a cornerback pretty early a couple years ago? 4 or 5. D. Milner, wasn't he like 9th overall? Didn't pan out.
Hey, take it easy on my
All
boy
right,
D
I'm gonna
Miller,
get out
man.
of here.
He had the injury bug, man. But when he actually played the 3 or 4 plays he actually got on the field, he was decent. He was decent. Dan, don't look at me like that.
Is he a friend of yours or something like that, man?
He had the injury bug, man. It was messed up. But that's all I got, man. I'm gonna let you guys take it over. I was excited, man. I was ready to get tagged in there, man. You know, it's my favorite day of the week, Thursday. Jets Guru Live. Let's go.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, when you look at it, it's one of those things where, I mean, I can't stress how much the Jets really need to make this work.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets need to make it work. If the Jets fail here and they pick the wrong quarterback, ultimately, this
Oh
is
man.
what this whole draft is about. Then everybody's getting fired, and
Yep.
you're talking about another 5 to 10 years, and then you're talking about mid to early 90s type of despair. I mean, it's getting close anyways because it's been about 10 years. But we've had a couple fun, uplifting moments like drafting a new quarterback, and we're going to be drafting another one. So you do get hopeful at times, but we could get back there if we don't get this right. But ultimately, I do believe that they have the right pieces in the building to be able to do what they need to do. But let's talk about this schedule a little bit. I'm trying to pull up. Do they have the actual dates yet, or they just have the opponents for the schedule?
Just
I
the
think
opponents.
the dates come out like May 7th or something like that.
May 7th.
Yeah.
That's when I move. Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll just kind of mix it around. He's got it up here. Let's talk like a pre skid for like. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. Look at the Jets roster for how it is right now. Adding Zach Wilson, let's say, and let's say one offensive lineman. Okay. So
I'm
one
gonna get on
offensive
this.
lineman, Zach Wilson, and the current Jets roster that we have right now, as it currently sits. Let's go through some of the opponents. So we have the Buffalo Bills, obviously, I guess the top of the class right now in the division. They've been the ones that have been pushing the needle and getting better each and every year. And, they kind of remind me of the New York Jets when they were going on their AFC championship runs. And I think they got one more year in them before things start really breaking down and you're going to have to start paying to keep guys there. And, so this is a year where, it sounds weird, but the Buffalo Bills are going to try to win a championship this year. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous. Like, Josh Allen, like, going to win a championship. They were knocking on the doorstep, and that's what they're looking at now. This is, in football, you could get lucky and with hard work, maybe be the Steelers, maybe be the Patriots on their good run, but those are hard to do. It's hard to be the Green Bay Packers. It's hard to be the San Francisco 49ers. It usually just doesn't work like that. You have a short window to accomplish what you need to accomplish. Usually you fall off for a couple years and then find your way back. Hey, if you can roll into new quarterbacks and keep it going for year on end and be one of those teams that's always in the playoffs, like the Steelers, like it always seems like the Steelers are, you might as well just take one playoff spot off the board because the Steelers are always going to be there. Ever since I was a kid, it just seems like the Steelers have always made the playoffs. They're like the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals, they always seem like they're always in the playoffs. It's so annoying. So what do you guys think about that? I'm going to give the Jets right now as we sit. I'm going to give them the L. I think Buffalo is going to be really the team to beat in the division, competing with Miami's a sleeper though, but still I think Buffalo has it. Go ahead, Ramon.
Oh, so me, I'm gonna say 6-11. I'm gonna say 6-11
Yeah.
You ain't even gonna go. You're just gonna give him the whole number. We're not even gonna go through. You just
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna go.
Hey,
So
Buffalo
that's what I'm
sweeping the
saying.
Jets.
No, I don't think Buffalo's gonna sweep the Jets because we usually play Buffalo at the beginning of the year, and then we play Buffalo once they're in the playoffs and they're locked, and they got God knows who playing quarterback at that point in time. So I think we split with Buffalo. They're gonna beat us at the beginning of the season. End of the season, we'll get that win. I don't feel I feel like we have like a New England curse. Like we haven't been able to beat those dudes since forever. Jacksonville, I feel like is a W. The Colts, I feel like, is a W. The Houston Texans, I feel like, is a W. We're at 4. The Broncos, I feel like, is a W. We're at 5.
Yeah.
And I think we beat the Carolina Panthers. I think that's 6. And that's what I'm going to say. Those are my 6. Those are my 6 games right there. Those are the W's I got. What you got, Krista?
Oh man, you made a really good point about the Buffalo Bills. I just hope usually week 1 we always play them. I hope we play them. I hope we play those people away because I don't want to start out with the L's of week 1. So I think you have me convinced. We probably split with the Buffalo Bills. Dolphins. They're a really tough team. I know a lot of people like to give them crud last year because they're the Miami Dolphins, but I really like what Flores is doing over there. And Jacksonville Jaguars, I agree with you. We didn't take Trevor Lawrence. I'm assuming Trevor Lawrence is there. Very angry we didn't get him, so we're gonna beat him just because I think we are gonna beat him, and I want to beat him. And I'm very salty that they took Trevor Lawrence. Thank you, Adam Gase, for winning those 2 games. So we didn't get my boy Trevor Lawrence. So we're gonna beat them. And Tennessee Titans, I don't see it with Ryan Tannehill, unfortunately, and Derrick Henry at this point with our squad. New Orleans, I don't know who our quarterback is. Is it Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston? Either way, at the Saints, I don't think we're going to win, unfortunately. The Bengals with Joe Burrow, they're a team to really watch. I know their offensive line was shaky, but Burrow's the real deal. It's going to be tough. Eagles, I really want to beat the Eagles. I'm very tired of people saying that the stat line all the time. Oh, the Jets never beat the Eagles. They're the only team who never beat this team. Can we please beat the Eagles? I mean, I agree with Ramon's choices with W's, but if we're gonna lose to someone else, can we please get the W with the Eagles? I'm begging you, New York. Please get the W with the Philadelphia Eagles. Please, Zach Wilson, get the W. I'll love you forever. I'll build you a statue if you just beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll even buy you a Chipotle bowl if you win the Philadelphia Eagles. I am that desperate. So yeah, that Tampa Bay Bucket.
Relax. I mean, sorry, we can't give grades until after the draft. I think we will shock everyone this year. I mean, would you relax?
Oh, man.
He prefaced it. I said, listen, this is like the pre-thing before we know who the picks are. We're just starting with Wilson and one offensive lineman and current Jets roster to have a little bit of fun before the draft. Could y'all relax a little bit? I mean, seriously. Oh, well, you can't do the draft grades until you come on, man. Let's have a little bit of fun and relax a little bit, okay? So, Kristen, what's your win total on this team?
I agree with Ramon. I'm still gonna buy Zach Wilson a Chipotle bowl, whatever he did for Chipotle if he beats the Philadelphia Eagles. Because if there's one thing I want, please beat the Philadelphia Eagles, please. I'm sick. I'm just so sick of the stat line that we never beat them. So yeah, please beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yeah, Tom Brady, that team, yeah, forget about it. The Panthers, yeah, let's get a revenge from Sam Darnold, but I think we're going to beat them. Falcons, you never know. I'm like 50-50 on that right now. Denver Broncos, yeah, I still think we're going to beat them. We beat them last year. I don't know who the quarterback is. I don't think much of Drew Lock. Still don't think much of Drew Lock. I don't know if they're drafting a new quarterback, whoever that is. Indianapolis Colts, good team. Still don't have much faith in Carson Wentz. So, yeah, I think we can win that. Houston Texans, I don't know when they're playing them. I don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. 50-50 on that. New England Patriots, don't know when we play them, but we usually play them tough depending on that. Said about Miami Dolphins, tough team. I think a lot of people like to underrate them, but again, I like what Flores is doing. And Buffalo Bills very possibly play them at the end of the year. And they're just playing their backups. Like Ramon said, he made a really good point. Kind of convinced me to maybe we could split with the Buffalo Bills. So yeah, I got the same total, 6-11, with the hope that I am able to give Zach Wilson his Chipotle bowl or pay him a Chipotle bowl if he beats the Philadelphia Eagles. That's all I care about. Please beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, listen, looking at the schedule, at first I was thinking maybe be a little bit tough. I think it's the 19th rated schedule in the NFL, so it's not too bad. It's not beating you over the head, but I mean, you do play a couple heavy hitters. I mean, obviously you got the Bucks, and I mean, most of your division would be considered, I think, almost like semi-heavy hitters. I mean, you talk about
Yeah.
Buffalo. I think Miami's taken a step up, and New England spent a lot of money. Ultimately, I think it leads them to around a 500 record, but they're going to be tough to beat. I think with the up and talent, pretty much that they brought in, even though they overpaid for it. I mean, we also talk a lot about the offense, but the defense is going to be a big part of this too, with Robert Saleh being the head coach, Jeff Ulbrich being the defensive coordinator. The Jets are moving to the 4-3. I think, it's going to be exciting, to see what, the Jets to have 4 guys on the line with some of the talent that we have. I think that's awesome. With Kyle Phillips probably coming back, few rotational pieces. I don't know if Nathan Shepard stays, and then you can move Quinnen Williams around on that line. He doesn't have to specifically play one position. You can move him around. You'll have Lawson coming off one end. And we'll see what they do in the draft as well. And we'll see what they do with the veteran. I don't know if Richard Sherman's a guy they bring in. I know they're going to bring in one more veteran corner. They're probably going to draft a corner. Bring that schedule back up again. It's tough. Let me look at it again. Pull it up. I think Buffalo kind of beats us both times, honestly. That's just my personal opinion. Miami, I think, beats us both times. It's my personal opinion. I think we split with New England. That's 1 win. Jacksonville, they're in the same boat that we are. I just like our coaching staff and what we're trying. Like, I think what Jacksonville's doing, I understand that they have a good coach that's coming in, but I think there's going to be a lot of mixing and matching this. So I think the Jets are more ready-made to win now. I know it's so crazy to say, but I think the Jets are, when you look at their roster and how the players are going to fit within the scheme of the coaches that are there and what they're saying they're going to do, I think that the Jets are going to be more ready-made with Zach Wilson than Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. So I think the Jets win there to give us 2 wins. I don't have us beating the Titans. I have us beating the Saints. I don't have us beating the Bucks. I have us beating the Bengals. I have us beating the Eagles. I have us beating the Falcons. I have us beating the Panthers. Right now, looking at it, I have us beating the. Now, see, I keep going, and then the wins start stacking.
Man.
Have them beating the Broncos, have them beating the Texans, and we're gonna have 10 wins this season. Let's go. No, I don't know, man. It's so hard. Obviously, like Anthony said, it's hard to really do that. We're just having fun with it. You know what I mean? Trying to get the nervous energy out of our bones because next week we're gonna be doing our draft board. Don't forget to please tune in at 7 p.m. next week, 7 p.m., and we'll take you guys all the way through until the Jets pick Zach Wilson, unless something crazy goes. Dude, imagine if the Jaguars come out and they go with the number 1 pick, they take Zach Wilson. Like, oh my God.
I'd be so shocked.
Back to the drawing board.
With the number 2 pick in the draft, the Jets take Penei Sewell. You're like, wait, what? The Captain Morgan. They show Captain Morgan in his living room. It's my time now. So we'll see what happens, but looking at it, I'm super excited. We'll give all our draft picks. I'm going through everything. I did a bunch of different mock drafts. I'll actually give you a little bit of a taste in what I did. Let me pull it up right here, see if I could get it. But obviously Zach Wilson is obviously going to be the number 1 pick. But then I started getting conflicted because when I was doing the mock drafts, I did like 2 or 3 of them, and obviously I'm trying to get it to go the way I want it to go. But and then you start getting into the 5th round and you're like, nah, I feel like the other one was better. So then let me start over. I'm looking around. So I got Zach Wilson at 2. I got Vera Tucker at 23. I got Wyatt Davis, who's still there at 34.
Oh, wow.
So they're going double guard right off rip. They're going to let McGovern play center again and be healthy and then go double guard young guys in there with Big Becton on one side and a veteran right in the middle between both of them. Then I had at pick 66, Thomas Graham Jr., the cornerback out of Oregon. He was still around for me, so I selected him. With the 86 pick, I had Chuba Hubbard sitting there, and I had the Jets picking him from Oklahoma State. And then this guy's not going to be around at 107 because they were saying that he could potentially even sneak up into the 1st round. But Jamin Davis, the linebacker out of Kentucky, I think like with his skill set and in this defense, he could be an issue. And then at 146, I have Dax Milne, the wide receiver out of BYU. I think, the Jets could probably use another depth receiver there in camp. And I think getting a guy that's familiar with your quarterback and a guy that's rated, he's rated well, I think would benefit. I think it would benefit your young quarterback. And then at 154, I have the Jets taking another cornerback, Trey Brown from Oklahoma, who's I don't think he honestly makes it there too. But and then center Drew Dahlman out of Stanford with that last pick there. So that's what I had. I'm still not happy with it. There's still so I'm still messing with it myself, but we'll have our final board next week. So what I need you guys to do is to go on to, if you can't find a place that really works for you, go on to pff.com/mock and go on there. And it's nice because it shows you information about the player and a bunch of different things. It's not unorganized. You'll go online, type in, draft simulator. It'll take you into like a whole network full of stuff. You're like, what the hell? I just wanted to just pick the draft. So just make it simple for yourself. Go to PFF. I'm doing free PFF. Man, somebody tag PFF in this and tell them to get your boy Jets Guru on there for the subscription. Hook me up and I'll hook you up. It's how we do it out here in Jets Guru. We like to shine light on everybody and you shine your light back on us. And so tag us in PFF, but no, listen, we're gonna get going. I got some stuff I got to do, and some stuff I have to unlock here. What I'm doing here at the house, getting ready for a big move myself. New chapter in the Jets Guru life here. Super excited. But next week is going to be so much fun. 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here. We're gonna have our draft boards up. I'm wearing all green. I'm getting dressed up. I don't have too many relics. I gave them away when Ryan Fitzpatrick killed our playoff dreams against Buffalo. So I'm in the process of rebuilding my relics. And what I mean by relics is I have a shirt or a hat or a helmet or some kind of Jets related thing. And what I do is I set it up for like field goal kicks and I block the field goal kick. Of course, it's all me. And with the helmet, I swing the helmet and the wind from my helmet goes through the TV and the field goal kicker then misses the kick. And then I suck that juice up, right? That contains juice and that relic, all those victories that you collect, and then you only bring them out for the playoffs. You bring all that good mojo energy out for the playoffs. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. And that's why I don't like Ryan Fitzpatrick, because even through Sanchez, even through all his failings and stuff, Ryan Fitzpatrick was really like magic. He fooled the hell out of everybody because when you always thought, this is the time, you see these receivers on the outside, baby, we're ready. The offense looks good. And then he'll just come out and lay a complete egg, Jekyll and Hyde. And my relics lost so much power fooling around with the magic, dude. And I had to give them away. And it was like a final. It was like, you ever see those old Westerns when the guys get killed and then everybody runs up real quick and starts taking stuff off the dead body. And then by the time you know it, the guy's naked in the middle of the street. Like, that's how it was for me. I sat there and I was just in total disbelief that the Bills kept giving us the game. And the Jets just couldn't take it. They just couldn't win. And I just was like, I can't do this. These things mean nothing to me anymore. Ryan Fitzpatrick destroyed them. There's no more juice. There's no more energy. I said, I don't want this anymore. Does anybody want this stuff? And then like 5 people turned around and they're like, I'll take it. And they're just literally just taking clothes off of me. They took my helmet. I took my beads off, my towels, and all the stuff that I saved through the AFC Championship games, through the drafting of Mark Sanchez, all that stuff. I completely got rid of him. Ryan Fitzpatrick destroyed that for me. I can't stand him. Yeah, I like that. I like him more outside of the Jets organization than I do that he's in now, than being in the Jets organization. And that is the story of losing my relics. And then the Jets have just been bad since then. So maybe it was my fault. Maybe I got y'all to the AFC Championship game with all my relics. And now that my relics are gone, you guys have been screwed for 10 years. Man. So I'm saying right here on Jets Guru, I'm going to draft night. I'm going to either make a t-shirt or something, and I'm going to dub the first relic in the new, it's been 10 years, right? I've been in the wilderness trying to find something to power up this team. So I'm going to make or buy something or whatever. And draft day, that is going to be the relic. I'm going to suck up all that draft juice, and then we're going to be ready to go. I'll bring it out again week 1, then I'll pull it back, right? And then I only bring it out for special moments when we have to block field goals and stuff like that. So, but thank you guys for I'm nuts, right? I mean, people are listening to me. They're like, "Oh my God, he's crazy. He's crazy." But it's real. Hey, and since I haven't had my relics, y'all all have been losing. So who is really wrong here, right? So maybe you should just cheer me on and just say, well, it's not real, right? But maybe Dan should just get a relic just in case it might be real, right? So I'm going to do that for y'all. I'm going to get a new one, and the Jets are going to have a good season and a good opening season for our rookie quarterback and our new coach and our new way of playing football and building a team where the owner kind of stays off to the side and the football people run it, just like Bill Parcells did it when he was here. And so I think we're going to get back to that kind of stuff. I think Rex was fun, and I think the owners got a taste of that kind of mutual respect, and they just kind of ran with it. And that's not the way the organization is supposed to be run. I think the Jets are doing a great job this offseason at repairing a lot of the messes that their front office has been putting together the last 10 years. And so thank you guys for tuning in so much. Please share it. Help us out. There was one curse word in this episode, thanks to your favorite at Guru Jets Twitter man over there, the rebel of the group. Twitter always has to be the rebel.
I'm being fined, guys.
Yeah, he's being fined, all right. We don't get paid for this, guys, just so you know. This is just all our own time. So I appreciate all the help. So if you guys could just give us the share, that would be awesome. And we will see you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Bring your draft cards. The person who has the most picks will get a prize from us, and it will be a very, very nice prize. Won't be some cheap stuff. So bring the cards, share them in the chat, 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. I'll throw the promo up on Monday when I get back from camping, going camping this weekend. When I get back, I will throw the promo up that our producer, JR behind the scenes, will be making, and we're going to get this week started. It's draft week, baby. It's a new start. So super excited. You guys are amazing. Have a good weekend. Be safe out there. Take care of each other. Goodbye.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah.